I'm 101 years old, and I need to tell you something that most people don't believe when I first say it. I haven't felt lonely in 15 years, not once. And before you think I'm just lucky, or I have a big family, or I'm lying, let me be clear. I live alone. I've lived alone since my wife died in 2009. My children live in different states. My friends, most of them are gone. On paper, I should be one of the loneliest people you've ever met, but I'm not. And if you're sitting in your house right now feeling isolated, feeling like nobody cares, feeling like the world has moved on without you, you need to hear this. Because what I'm about to tell you changed my life. And it can change yours too. My name's Arthur. And 15 years ago, I was exactly where you might be right now. Lonely. Desperately lonely. The kind of lonely that sits in your chest and never leaves. The kind that makes every day feel empty. But I'm not there anymore. And the difference isn't luck. It's a choice. 5 choices, actually. 5 simple things I started doing that transformed everything. So, if you're ready to stop feeling lonely, stay with me. Because these aren't theories. This is what actually worked. Let me take you back to 2010. I was 86 years old. My wife Eleanor had just passed away after 58 years of marriage, and for the first time in my adult life, I was completely alone. We'd lived in the same house for 40 years, same routine, same rhythms. Eleanor would make coffee in the morning, I'd read the paper, we'd have lunch together, watch the news, go for a walk, small things, normal things. And then she was gone. The first few months were a blur. People came by, brought food, checked on me. My daughter stayed for 2 weeks. My son visited every weekend. But eventually, life goes on. People go back to their routines. And I was left alone in this house that suddenly felt enormous. Every room reminded me of her. Every chair, every picture, every corner. I'd wake up in the morning and reach over, empty. I'd make coffee for 2 out of habit. Then realize, just me. Here's what nobody tells you about loneliness. It's not just missing someone, it's feeling invisible. Like you could disappear and nobody would notice. I'd go days without talking to anyone. The mailman would say hello. That was it. One word, hello. And I'd think about that interaction for hours because it was the only human contact I'd had. You know what that does to you? That kind of isolation? It breaks you down. Slowly. Day by day. By 2010, I was in a dark place. I stopped answering the phone when my kids called. Not because I was angry, because I didn't know what to say. They'd ask how I was doing. I'd say fine. What else could I say? I'm drowning. I'm so lonely I can barely breathe. You don't say that to your children. They have their own lives, their own problems. So I said fine, and we'd talk for 5 minutes and hang up. And I'd feel even more alone. I remember one day, it was a Tuesday afternoon, I was sitting in my living room. TV on, but I wasn't watching it, just staring. And I realized I hadn't left the house in 4 days, hadn't spoken to anyone, hadn't done anything, just existed. And I thought, is this it? Is this what the rest of my life looks like? And something in me said, no, I can't do this. I won't do this. That was my turning point. I was 86 years old and I made a decision. I was not going to die lonely. I was going to figure this out. And over the next few months, through trial and error, I found 5 things that worked. 5 things that pulled me out of that darkness. And 15 years later, I'm still doing them. Every single one. Because they work. Here's tip number 1. And this is the most important one. Get out of your house every single day. every day, rain or shine, even if you don't want to, especially if you don't want to. I started small, just a walk around the block, 10 minutes. That's it. But I did it every day. And you know what happened? I started seeing the same people. The woman walking her dog, the man getting his mail, the kid riding his bike to school. We'd nod, say hello. Small interactions, but they mattered. After a few weeks, we started talking. Short conversations. Nice weather? How's the dog? Nothing deep, but it was human connection. And I realized something. I'd been waiting for people to come to me, waiting for someone to rescue me from my loneliness. But that's not how it works. You have to go out and find connection. Now I walk every morning. Same route, same time. 8:30 a.m. and I see the same people. There's Linda with her golden retriever. There's Marcus who gets the newspaper. There's the couple who jogs past at 8:45. We're not close friends, but we're friendly. They know my name. I know theirs. And that matters. Because loneliness isn't just about not having deep relationships. It's about feeling disconnected from the world. And these small daily interactions, they keep you connected. Tip number 2, find a routine that involves other people. This was harder for me. I'm an introvert. I don't like groups, but I knew I needed to be around people regularly, so I joined a senior center just for lunch, once a week, Thursdays. I almost didn't go the first time. Walked up to the door 3 times and turned around, thought, what am I doing? I don't know anyone in there. But finally, I went in, and it was awkward. I didn't know anyone. I sat alone at a table, ate my lunch, left. But I came back the next week, and the week after that, and slowly, people started to recognize me. Hey, you're the guy who sits by the window. We'd chat. Nothing profound, but it became part of my week, something to look forward to, a reason to shower, to put on clean clothes, to leave the house. Now I go to that senior center 3 times a week. Lunch on Thursday, cards on Tuesday, book club on Saturday. Are these people my best friends? No. But they're people I see regularly. People who notice if I'm not there. People who ask how I'm doing and actually want to know. And let me tell you about Margaret. She started coming the same time I did. Lost her husband too. We'd sit together sometimes, talk about our spouses, our kids. And one day she said something that stuck with me. She said, Arthur, I'm not looking for someone to replace my husband. I'm just looking for reasons to get dressed in the morning. That's what routine does. It gives you reasons. Tip number 3, learn something new. This sounds random, but hear me out. When I was 87, I signed up for a computer class at the library. Free class, beginners, how to use email, how to browse the internet, and I felt ridiculous. I'm 87 years old learning to use a mouse. But you know what? It gave me something to do. Something to think about besides being lonely. And more than that, it connected me to my grandkids. They'd been emailing me for years, but I never responded because I didn't know how. Now I email them. We send pictures back and forth. My grandson sends me videos of his kids. My granddaughter sends me recipes. It's not the same as seeing them in person, but it's something. It's a connection. Learning something new keeps your brain active. It gives you something to talk about. And it puts you in rooms with other people who are also learning. I met 3 people in that computer class, Tom, Barbara, and Sue. We were all confused, all struggling, and we'd laugh about it. Now we meet for coffee once a month, talk about our grandkids, complain about technology, And none of that would have happened if I'd stayed home feeling sorry for myself. Tip number 4, help someone else. This one changed everything for me. When you're lonely, you're focused on yourself, on what you're missing, on what you don't have. And that focus makes it worse. You have to get outside yourself. You have to find ways to be useful. I started volunteering at a food bank, 2 hours a week. Wednesday mornings, I sort donations, stock shelves. Nothing glamorous, but it gets me out of the house. And more importantly, it reminds me that other people have problems too. That I'm not the only one struggling. That I can still contribute something. There's a woman there, Rosa. She's in her 60s. Her husband's sick. She works 2 jobs. And she still volunteers every week. We work side by side, don't talk much. But there's a camaraderie in it, a sense of purpose. And on days when I don't feel like going, when I'm tired or it's cold, I think about Rosa, about how she shows up no matter what. And I get up, I go. Helping others takes you out of your own head. It reminds you that you matter, that you can make a difference, even small difference, even just showing up and sorting cans. It matters. Tip number 5, accept that some days will be hard. This is the one people don't want to hear. Because we want a magic fix. We want something that makes loneliness disappear completely. But that's not realistic. Some days are still hard. Some days I wake up and the house feels too quiet. Some days I miss Eleanor so much I can barely function. Some days I feel every one of my 101 years. And that's okay. You don't have to be happy all the time. You don't have to pretend everything's fine. What you have to do is not let the hard days stop you. You still get up. You still go for your walk. You still show up to your routine. Because consistency is what beats loneliness, not perfection. Consistency. I had a hard day last month, anniversary of Eleanor's death. I didn't want to get out of bed, didn't want to see anyone, but I got up anyway, went for my walk, saw Linda with her dog. She asked how I was doing. I said, "Not great today." And you know what she did? She walked with me for 20 minutes. Didn't try to fix it. Didn't say it would get better. Just walked with me. And that helped. That's what community does. When you've built these connections, when you put in the work, people show up for you. But you have to show up first. You have to be present. You have to be consistent. Here's what I want you to understand. Loneliness is not a life sentence. It feels like it is. When you're in it, it feels permanent. Like this is just how things are now, but it's not. You can change it. I did at 86. If I can do it at 86, you can do it at whatever age you are. It won't happen overnight. It took me months to start feeling better. A year before, I felt like I had a real routine. But every small step mattered. Every walk, every conversation, every time I chose to get out of the house instead of staying in. They all added up. I'm 101 years old now. I live alone. My wife is gone. Most of my old friends are gone. But I'm not lonely because I've built a life that includes people. Not the same people, not the deep, lifelong friendships I had when I was younger, but real connections. People who know my name, people I see regularly, people who notice if I'm not around. And that's enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one of these tips. Just one. Start there. Get out of your house every day. Find a routine. Learn something new. Help someone else. Accept the hard days. Pick the one that feels easiest and start tomorrow. Don't wait. Don't tell yourself you'll do it next week. Do it tomorrow. Because every day you wait is another day you spend lonely. And you don't have to be lonely. You really don't. I wasted a year sitting in my house feeling sorry for myself. I can't get that year back. But I didn't waste the 14 years after that. And you don't have to waste any more time either. If this story helps you, leave a comment. Tell me which tip you're going to try first. And subscribe if you want more honest advice from someone who's lived through it. Because I'm 101 years old and I'm still learning, still growing, still showing up, and you can too. Loneliness is a choice, and so is connection. Choose connection.